Millions of people listen to the Namami Shamishan, or Rudrashtakam, every single day. Even if you don't speak a word of Sanskrit, the driving, rhythmic chant carries a raw, hypnotic weight that you feel in your chest. But those ancient, untranslated lyrics conceal a deliberate and massive contradiction. The opening lines praise a being that is entirely formless, completely without physical traits. Then, mere seconds later, the exact same chant begins praising a deity draped in tiger skin, wrapped in venomous snakes, and a necklace of human skulls. This text offers an ancient philosophical framework. It is built specifically to help the limited human mind grasp how an infinite, boundless universe can condense into a physical, terrifying form. Listen to the first verse. It calls Shiva Nirakar Omkar Moolam, the root of the cosmic sound Om, and a state of pure consciousness that escapes language. This sets up the concept of nirguna. In early Hindu philosophy, nirguna describes reality as an all-pervading space without any edges, shapes, or physical attributes. Our brains evolved to recognize objects, boundaries, and limits. We physically cannot process absolute infinity. Because we cannot sustain a connection to pure empty space, the chant immediately constructs an anchor for our minds, manifesting that boundless energy into a highly specific physical avatar. Halfway through the hymn, the formless void abruptly shatters into a distinct shape. We are suddenly confronted with a multi-armed figure, holding weapons and Kotmig dance. The text describes Kalaloni Charu Ganga, the wildly rolling waters of the Ganges River trapped in his hair. This represents immense, chaotic natural energy brought under absolute control. We hear Pujanga, the venomous snakes around his neck, and the Mundamalam, the garland of skulls. These represent dominion over our deepest primal fears. The chant calls him Nilakantam, or the blue-throated one. It signifies the capacity to consume and hold the bitter toxicity of the world without letting it corrupt the core self. The author isn't trying to scare the listener. The imagery provides strict assurance that this deity holds unchallenged authority over the most destructive elements in existence. Curious. This brings us to the sharpest contrast in the entire hymn. The verses praise him as Mahakal Kalam, the fierce devourer of time and death, and in the very same breath, Dayalam, meaning compassionate. As Mahakal, he is seen as the unavoidable end of all physical matter. Complete destruction is a requirement for any kind of renewal. Consuming time and matter is a stark cosmic necessity, completely absent of malice. This is exactly why the chant labels him Kripalam and Dayalam. By wiping away the cycle of worldly suffering and ignorance, a role the hymn calls Moha Apahari, destruction becomes a necessary act of mercy. When Shiva is understood as both the terminal condition of the universe and its final cure, the listener finds a sense of fierce security. After describing this vast cosmic scale, the final verses pivot sharply toward total human vulnerability. The chanter admits, Najanami yogam japam naiva puja. Translated, it means, I know neither yoga, nor chanting, nor rituals. Placed next to the infinite scale of reality we just explored, the admission of absolute inadequacy is deeply grounding. The lyrics list out universal, very human terrors. Jara, the decay of old age. Janma, the relentless cycle of birth. Dukh, the heavy burden of sorrow. This admission shifts the perspective. It suggests that liberation isn't a reward for technical mastery, but a byproduct of admitting one's own limitations in the face of the infinite. By acknowledging these frailties against the devourer of time, the chanter stops fighting the inevitable. Peace is found in the moment resistance ends, an awe-struck surrender to the forces we cannot change.